Hi everyone! In today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this super cute mesh cardigan. It's an easy pattern and perfect for beginners. You can also customize the size to make it fit just the way you like. Let's get started! In this tutorial, we'll be making a crochet mesh cardigan using 5 separate panels, 2 identical front panels, 1 back panel and 2 identical sleeves. We'll sew everything together at the end. I recommend writing down your measurements as you go to make sure the panels match. I'll be demonstrating one of the front panels since it includes shaping and is a bit more complex. However, I recommend starting with the back panel as each front panel should be about half its width. For this tutorial, you'll need some yarn. I used about 5 skeins, around 210 grams in total. Any yarn works, but I chose baby merino yarn because it's soft and lightweight. You'll also need a crochet hook. The label suggested 3mm, but I sized up to a 4mm for a more relaxed look. In addition, you'll need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle and optionally some stitch markers to help keep track of your work. We will start by making a slip knot. I do this by wrapping the yarn around my index and middle finger, making sure the yarn crosses over itself and forms an X. Then I place the yarn under my pinky finger to hold it in place. Next, I grab my crochet hook and go under the first strand of yarn. Then I catch the second strand and pull it through to form the slip knot. Now that you have your slip knot on the hook, we're ready to start the foundation chain. Yarn over and pull through the loop. That's your first chain. Keep repeating this. The foundation chain should match the width you want your panel to be. Make sure the number of chains is a multiple of 4. Then add 10 extra chains. For the back panel, chain until it measures at least from shoulder to shoulder. Letting it extend a bit past is a good idea so the fit isn't too tight. Each mesh space uses 4 chains. I chained 100 for 25 mesh spaces, then added the 10 extra chains to make 26 mesh spaces in total. Try to keep the number of mesh spaces even, it makes dividing for the front panels easier. For the sleeves, just chain enough to fit comfortably around the widest part of your arm. The front panels are simply half the width of the back. I needed 13 mesh spaces, so I started by chaining 48 for 12 spaces. Then I placed the stitch marker in the last chain before adding the 10 extra chains. So now I'm adding those 10 extra chains to make 13 mesh spaces in total. Once that's done, you'll double crochet into the 10th chain from the hook, the one right next to the stitch marker. To double crochet, yarn over, go into the top loop of the chain and pull the yarn through. Yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, yarn over once more and pull through the last 2 loops. The 10 extra chains create 1 mesh space, with 3 chains along the bottom, 3 going up the side and 3 across the top. To continue the pattern, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, skip 3 chains and double crochet into the 4th chain. Repeat this pattern across the row. Chain 3, skip 3 and double crochet into the 4th chain. When you reach the end of the row and have 4 chains left, do the same as before. Chain 3, skip 3 chains and double crochet into the 4th and final chain. This is what your first row of the mesh pattern should look like. For this panel, I now have 13 mesh spaces in total. To start a new row, chain 6. The first 3 count as a double crochet and the next 3 create the top of the first mesh space. Turn your work, yarn over, and make a double crochet into the first mesh space from the previous row. You'll see how this forms a new mesh space. Then, just continue the pattern. Chain 3, yarn over and double crochet into each mesh space across the row. I'll meet you at the end to show you one more time how to start a new row. When you reach the final mesh space, do the same. Chain 3 and double crochet into that last space. Now you should have 2 rows completed. To begin the next one, chain 6, turn your work, and double crochet into the first mesh space. Now that you've got the pattern down, just keep repeating these steps until your panel reaches your desired length.
While you keep crocheting, I'm gonna say thanks to Craftsy for sponsoring this video. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. It's made for creative makers who want to learn something new or take their skills to the next level. There are over 2,000 classes in things like crocheting, knitting, sewing, painting, and so much more. I've been diving into their crochet classes lately and I've learned so many new stitches and techniques. I even made these cute little crochet flowers to add to a bouquet I've been working on, and they turned out so pretty. All the classes are taught by super friendly professional instructors who break everything down step by step. You also get downloadable resources, which makes learning so much easier. And with so many categories and creative projects to explore, there's always something new to learn. So if you're into creative projects like me, be sure to check out Craftsy and use my link down below. The first 1,000 people who click the link will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. But this offer is valid for new members only.
This is my finished back panel. I had 26 mesh spaces across and crocheted 41 rows, so the front panels need to be 41 rows as well to match the length. Here's my front panel. I've crocheted 27 rows so far, and this is how it's looking. Now we're going to start decreasing on one side to shape it into a nice V-neck. I started mine at row 28, but feel free to adjust depending on how deep you want your V-neck to be. Now I'm going to show you how to decrease. Start by continuing the mesh pattern as normal. Once you've made 2 mesh spaces on the new row, that's where we'll decrease. Chain 3, but this time skip the next mesh space and place a double crochet into the one after that. I recommend placing a stitch marker where you decrease, so you remember which side you're shaping, or just in case you need to undo something later. Then, just continue the pattern. After each decrease row, you'll have 1 less mesh space. So for example, after 1 decrease, I went from 13 mesh spaces to 12. After a decrease row, I crochet 1 regular row without shaping. Then I do another decrease on the next row. This keeps the V-neck nice and gradual. I'll show you one more time. After each regular row, make 2 mesh spaces. Then do your next decrease. Keep decreasing every other row until the neckline looks the way you want. Feel free to play around with how many decreases you add or how many rows you place between them, whatever suits the style you want for your cardigan. Here you can see my front panel with stitch markers showing each decrease. I made a total of 6 decreases, ending up with 7 mesh spaces across. Be careful not to add too many decreases, otherwise the cardigan won't sit properly on your shoulder. After my last decrease on row 38, I crocheted 3 regular rows to reach 41 rows in total, the same as the back panel. I recommend writing down which rows you decrease on, so your 2 front panels have the same shaping. When you're done with your panel, simply cut the yarn and pull it through. Once your back and front panels are finished, all that's left is to make the sleeves. I started with 26 mesh spaces in width from the shoulder down and crocheted 32 straight rows before adding any shaping. Since the panel was already wide at the shoulder, I only added decreases to taper the sleeve toward the wrist, but feel free to play around. If you want wider sleeves at the wrist instead, you can add increases. To increase the pattern, make 3 mesh spaces like normal on a new row. Then chain 3. But instead of moving to the next space, place your double crochet into the same mesh space as before. This creates 2 double crochets in one space, adding an extra mesh space. Then just continue the pattern, chain 3 and double crochet into the next space. For my sleeves, I did 4 decreases in total, placing 1 every 4th row, starting from row 33. When shaping the sleeves, it's important to alternate evenly between which side you place your decreases or increases on, so the shaping stays balanced on both sides. In the end, my sleeve panel was 26 mesh spaces wide at the shoulder, 51 rows long and 22 mesh spaces wide at the wrist. Now that all 5 panels are finished, it's time to sew everything together. We'll start by attaching the 2 front panels to the back panel at the top edges to form the neckline. After that, we'll sew the sleeve panels onto the sides of the body panels. And finally, we'll fold the cardigan and sew along the sides of the body and the sleeves. Before sewing, I recommend pinning the front and back panels together at the top edges. This makes it easier to stay on track while sewing. Since each of my front panel was 7 mesh spaces wide at the top, I pinned them 7 mesh spaces into the back panel as well. I had some yarn tails left from crocheting, so I'm just using those to sew the panels together here. Thread the yarn onto your needle. On each panel, the row will either start with a chain 6 or a double crochet. Begin by sewing into the 3rd chain of the starting chain or the top of the double crochet stitch. Then, just keep matching and sewing the stitches together, one by one until you reach your stitch marker. Once one shoulder is done, repeat the same steps on the other side. Now that the shoulders are sewn together, it's time to attach the sleeves. Make sure the side you just sewed is facing you. That will be the inside of the cardigan. Take one of your sleeve panels and find the center. Line it up with the shoulder seam where the front and back panels meet. I like to use a few stitch markers here as well to keep everything aligned while sewing. Since my sleeve panel had 26 mesh spaces, I sewed it 13 spaces onto each body panel, so it lined up evenly. Cut some yarn and thread it onto your needle. Then sew the sleeve onto the body panel stitch by stitch, just like we did at the shoulders. Once you're done, this is how it should look. The sleeve attached neatly to the body. Repeat the same steps for the second sleeve. With both sleeves attached, fold the cardigan in half so it starts to take shape of a real cardigan. Make sure to fold it with the seams on the outside, since we'll turn it inside out later. Attach some yarn at the bottom of the cardigan and sew all the way up. Then continue along the side of the sleeve. connecting the body and sleeve panels together. Don't forget to weave in any loose ends when you're finished. Now that I've sewn both sides, you can clearly see the seam. But once you turn the cardigan inside out, it bends nicely into the pattern. Finally, we're going to add the ties to the cardigan. Start by deciding where you want them. I placed mine between row 25 and 26, right before the V-neck shaping begins. But feel free to adjust this to suit your own cardigan. To make the ties, we're going to use the foundation single crochet method. This means we'll create both the chain and the single crochet stitch at the same time. The chains sit at the bottom while the single crochets sit on top. Make a slip knot and set it aside for a moment. Then, grab your hook and insert it into the stitch where you placed your stitch marker. Place the slip knot on your hook, tighten it and pull it through. Now go into the next stitch right beside it. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first loop to make the chain. Then yarn over again and pull through both loops to make the single crochet. Now when you flip it over, you'll see a little V shape. That's the chain we just made. To continue, insert your hook into both loops of that chain. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over again and pull through the first loop to make the chain. Then yarn over and pull through both loops to finish the single crochet. You're simply going to repeat this. Insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 1, then yarn over and pull through 2. It gets easier and faster once you get the hang of it. Repeat this until your tie is the length you want. Just make sure it's long enough to tie the cardigan in the front. Once it's long enough, cut the yarn and pull it through to fasten off. Now the first tie is done, and this is how it should look. Repeat the same steps on the other side. When both ties are finished and you've fastened all your ends, your cardigan is complete. Now you can tie them in a nice little bow. And that's it, your cardigan is finished. I hope you enjoyed making it. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more crochet projects. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.